Hello everyone. In previous lecture, we discussed the nomenclature of ethers. For nomenclature of ether, we use common name or the IUPAC nomenclature method. And in case of common name, the ethers are derived from the two groups attached to the oxygen atom of ether linkage. And according to IUPAC system, ether are named as alkoxy-alkane. Up to this we covered in previous lecture. Today we will start the remaining part of ether, that is structure of ether. Here this is a simple structure, that is ROR, that means the R, that means alkyl part, and here oxygen. And these ethers have tetrahedral geometry, that is oxygen is sp3 hybridized, that is carbon oxygen carbon, that means this R, that means carbon oxygen carbon uh, in ethers is 110 degree. Because of greater electronegativity of oxygen than carbon, the carbon oxygen bonds are slightly polar and are inclined to each other at angle 110 degree, the resulting in net dipole moment. This is symbol of dipole moment. This is a net dipole moment, and bond angle of ether is greater than that of the tetrahedral bond angle of 109 degree 28 minutes due to the greater electronegativity of the oxygen. Therefore, the bond angle is increases. The general methods of preparation. Number one, Williamson synthesis and diazomethane method. First, we discuss Williamson synthesis. In case of Williamson synthesis, this is the most important industrial and laboratory method and may be used for the preparing simple as well as the mixed ether. Simple, that means the symmetrical, and mixed, that mixed ether, that means the unsymmetrical ether. And in this method, the alkyl halide, the starting material is alkyl halide, reacts with the sodium alkoxide to give ether. The good yields of ether are obtained when alkyl halide is primary. That means when we use the primary alkyl halide, it gives the good yield of ether. And the yield of ether from alkyl halide to following order. That means first CH3, then primary, secondary and tertiary are equivalent. This general reaction Rx, that means alkyl halide, plus sodium alkoxide, this O minus, it will attack on R, and departure of this X, we get the ROR dash, that means the ether, plus NaX. Okay, and we take one example here, methyl iodide, CH3I, that means methyl iodide plus sodium ethoxide, and here we get the ethyl methyl ether. That means in Williamson synthesis, the starting material is the reactant is the alkyl halide plus sodium alkoxide, we get the ether. And in case of Williamson synthesis, tertiary alkyl halide undergo elimination reaction with sodium alkoxide as a strong base. Hence, one of the alkyl groups of the ether to be prepared is a tertiary, and it must be introduced as a base, not as the tertiary halide. This is the most important. When we use the tertiary alkyl halide, it undergoes the elimination reaction with sodium alkoxide, that is strong base. Hence, one of the alkyl groups of ether is to be prepared is tertiary, and it must be introduced as a base, not as a tertiary halides. Next, diazomethane method. In case of diazomethane method, when alcohol or phenol treated with diazomethane in the presence of the BF3 boron trifluoride, the ethers are obtained. It's a very simple reaction. Here, this alcohol, that is N-heptanol plus diazomethane. The reaction between the N-heptanol and the diazomethane, here we get the methyl N-heptyl ether. That means there is formations of the ether plus liberation of nitrogen gas. Here it's a very simple. That means how to write the product of this reaction here, NC7H15O, here oxygen, okay, here oxygen, and here CH2 and this hydrogen, it becomes CH3. That means when you write the product of this reaction in presence of BF3, so it's a simple trick. Here NC7H15, here O, and this CH2, it becomes CH3. That means the methyl N-heptyl ether. Again, in next reaction, this is the phenol, NC6H5OH, and here CH2N2. That means diazomethane in presence of BF3. And here again a simple tricks. Here NC6H5O, and here CH2 and this hydrogen, it becomes CH3. Therefore NC6H5O CH3, and there is a liberation of this nitrogen gas, and here we get the anisole. Now the physical properties of ether. When you consider the physical properties of the ether, the dimethyl ether and ethyl methyl ether is a gas at ordinary temperature, while the other homologues of the ether are colorless liquid with characteristics of ether smell. That means dimethyl ether and ethyl methyl ether is a gas at ordinary temperature, while the lower homologue of this ether are colorless liquid. And when we consider the solubility of the ethers are polar but insoluble in water and have a low boiling point than alcohols of comparable molecular masses, because ether do not form hydrogen bonds with the water. And that's why it having the low boiling point as compared to alcohol. Due to formation of the less degree of hydrogen bonding, the ethers have lower boiling point than their corresponding isomeric alcohol. These are the physical properties of the ether. Okay, thank you.